Hello, welcome to February 19th, 2022. My name is Kurt, and this is the Good Life Meditation. This is something that I do each and every day, first thing in the morning, to remind myself of my life objectives and principles, and to see how I did applying these to yesterday's challenges and opportunities, and to plan for the coming day. First, last night, I slept really good and long. I went to bed at about 8:30 p.m. I was asleep right away. Slept all the way through the night until the damn alarm went off. And then I slept even more. I slept 20 minutes after that. I actually hit the stop button. So that's a first in a long time. I think that the reason is because I think I've kind of rounded a corner with the new job. Kind of thinking of like, a sailing ship going around Cape Horn. This week was a tough week, and I had a lot of important events that occurred, and I got through them all. For the most part, hit bullseyes in most of them. I had that one that was a kind of a miss. And then yesterday I kind of just put it all together and sat back and said, wow, I think I'm in good shape. Doesn't mean that the time ahead will be rough or won't have difficult moments. It will. But one thing that's different about now than any other time in my life is that for all intents and purposes, this might be my last job in my career. My career being in IT, having started off in support, leading to training, becoming an analyst, and now a project manager. It's quite possible that Yumiko and I might decide to retire in 2024, which is just 2 years away. In maybe the spring. Maybe it would make more sense to do that when our lease expires at the end of the year. That year, assuming we're still in this place. If that's the case, I'm off the mark. If that's the case, then I've turned the corner on my career. I don't imagine. I mean, I think I've got a handle on this particular job now. Not entirely, but from the perspective of coming in completely new and not knowing exactly what you're getting into, or if you've got what it takes to do it. I think I know what I need to do, and I think I can do it. So, I might not have to face that again, hopefully. Maybe I'll sleep better at night. We'll see. I read something yesterday, or I didn't read it, I watched it on YouTube. It was a video about depression. And in particular, it was talking about a different reason for, or a different perspective on it. And it said that there's types of depression that can be treated with with medicines. And but that's a minority, apparently, according to the TED Talk. The real point of his lecture his presentation was to say something quite eye-opening, which was that depression doesn't necessarily mean that you're broken. It's your body's way of sending you a message. You're getting a signal. Something ain't right. That something may have to do with the circumstance of your life. And that really resonated with me, because I was pretty much, I was pretty depressed when I was working in Ventura. Those were not happy years for me. And there's something about the nature of the environment. Of course, the pandemic had an effect on that. It really upset things. And I was depressed. And without using that as my impetus to change, I changed nonetheless. And I came back to a situation that I like better, a better life circumstance. And the depression has largely gone away. I still get anxious because I really care about the quality of my work. I want to do a good job, and I want to be successful in my career, and I want to take care of my family, and I want to make sure that our income isn't interrupted in any way and causes problems. So I really take it seriously. So I am anxious, but I'm not depressed, or at least not very much. I mean, I have my moments, but not like before. So yeah, maybe depression is to be seen less as something that we're broken, and in spite of our circumstances, much more a situation that our body's telling us there's something about our situation that ain't working for us. Maybe it's as simplistic a model as the hand burned at the stove, where instead of keeping the hand at the stove and applying medicine, let's get the hand away from the stove. That's a tricky one in a way, because some of us, most of us, have made decisions that put us into circumstances where we can't pull our hand away from the stove. For example, if we're a parent and we have a job, and maybe we're the sole breadwinner or the main breadwinner, and our families depend on us to keep our hand in the fire. Well, maybe we need to do that, but recognizing that as the case may be helpful. Maybe there's a way we can maneuver ourselves into another circumstance without jeopardizing the family's well-being. I could go on. There's lots of instances of that. We can't just up and bolt from important responsibilities. But I never thought about it that way before. I would have thought, well, I'm broken. Maybe the medicine will help. What's wrong with me? Not for a moment considering that maybe my body was simply telling me, it's hot here. Let's go somewhere cooler. And if I can, maybe I will. That was an eye-opening TED Talk, and I posted it in the Discord. If you're interested in discussions about such things, come on over. You can join us in the Discord. There's a link in the description, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is. If not there, you can go to goingalone.org and it'll pop up on the screen. Let's begin the good life. Meditation, that is. I want to always have things in order, so that if I'm not here, I've left things in good order. And to not waste my time, but to be effective, and to work hard on my guiding principles, to develop them and keep them well tuned, and to control my emotions, or at least my emotional outlet, so that the real battle happens within. Allowing others to help, but not suffering them to be on the receiving end of any emotional outlet. To find ways to do good things throughout the day. to recognize my limits and my opportunities, and to never ever multitask. To always be at war with the things that I believe are true, or that others want me to believe. And to be a reasonable man, logical, objective, skeptical. And to remember that I won't live forever. I don't have a soul. All I have is a consciousness that's here for a short while. And that consciousness is utterly alone. And that all my ideas about right and wrong reside with that consciousness and will pass with me. And that I will pursue my purpose of being a good husband and father, being a person who tries to help make the world a better place, making more people happy in reasonable ways, and to pursue the sharing of the message that I've collected and developed by my own journey. And to remember always that everything is just a scaffolding of things, of atoms, animated by energy, that will very soon fall to pieces. But while things are in their forms, they have some nature to them. And if I can recognize what that nature is, I'll be in a better position to abide it, or at least compensate for it. And to remember that I don't have any free will. That every choice that I make, although it appears to be my own, is really just the consequence of all the phenomena and circumstance that are happening around me that contribute to my decision making. And that I mature when I remember my successes and failures and have the strength to do better. And that I'm a social person. We all are. We need each other. And we live better and we do better when we do not strive to always be alone. To speak very carefully, constructing terse sentences to the point, exercising felicity, and using vocabulary that are readily understood, yet help to get the point across, and to never ever gossip. And to be temperate in my consumption of life, in everything that I do, from my job through to the activities of my free time, my eating, my drinking, my talking, my sleeping, my bathing, all of it within reason. And to remember that terrible things are happening to everyone around me. If not in this moment, it's coming. It always comes to all of us. To remember this, so that I can be sympathetic and lend a hand where necessary, and be ready to bear my own suffering when the time comes, and to bear well my responsibilities all along the way, and to not let my emotions flow out in excess, and to be sympathetic to those who are suffering and who are flowing their emotions out to excess without consuming it unnecessarily. And to not distract myself from the emptiness of the universe that yawns behind everything. And to be happy where I am now, and doing what I am doing now, and being who I am just now, while all the time striving to be better. And standing ready to move forward into a new life when the time comes, collecting facts and making a determined decision, maybe nudged by my gut instinct. And to remember that there's a deep desire in some of us, not all of us it seems, to find ourselves. And it's good to tend to that if that's the case. It'll make all the other activities much better. And to never believe things too readily, or because someone's really impressive with what they say, or because the tradition goes so far back, or because it's popular to believe. And to never believe where belief itself is held as the reason and the justification for some belief. And to only desire when that desire is coupled with action and the desire is reasonable. And again, to never gossip. And to remember that death is absolute. That since I have no soul, I will not carry on. I won't see anyone after death. I won't have a chance to fix anything or to apply any justice. There won't be anything. So, I'll live well now. And that I'll seek after at least one centerpiece event in my life, maybe in my youth, that would become the defining experience of who I was. And that if I'm motivated to do so, I'll write about it. Build a story. My own story. To share now and to leave behind. And to remember that every moment through every day is an opportunity to practice and execute my principles and objectives towards better living. And that no day is not without its upward struggle. And that I'll strive for the mark and usually miss. I'll be content with that. And then I'll try to get by with less. And then I'll endeavor to be a happy man, to share that happiness with others. All right, well, there's my good life adventure. Or, I guess it is kind of an adventure. Meditation, that is. Now let's talk about the day. Today's the day off. It's a Saturday. First day of a 3-day weekend. It's Martin Luther King Day on Monday. For today, I'm going to finish this. Then I will read my Bible. I think I'm on Psalms 6 today. After that, I will feed the dogs and walk them. Well, in the reverse order, I'll walk them and then feed them. And then I'll begin cleaning the house. When that's all done, maybe Miko and I can go have lunch then. And then just, maybe we'll do our shopping today. Yeah, probably. At least our local shopping. And I'm hoping to get in a good deal of reading. I read 30 pages yesterday. Really got a lot done in my book by Aristotle. Really good. It's like, I was thinking about it. It was like reading Aristotle. I've encountered things where I've heard about other people talking about reading Aristotle, particularly the Nicomachean Ethics that I'm reading right now. And they've usually they pick out sections and they say, like, read just the first part. I'd never read the Nicomachean Ethics. I tried once, maybe 10 years ago, and I put it aside. It just didn't work for me. Now I understand why. Aristotle deals with select sections, which deal with things of interest to human life. Ethics, mainly, obviously. Some of them are readily apparent and easy to read. Others are like really hard. And I'm reminded of a professor that I had in college that taught Russian history. And I got a D in that class, so I essentially failed it. And it's not for want of trying. I came and I sat there every day and I listened to his lecture, and 7 times out of 10, I walked out of that room and I had no idea what he was talking about. Just, he was saying stuff that was important, but I just didn't, it was like didn't hit the receptor for some reason. That's what it's like with Aristotle. 3 out of 10 hit the mark. A lot of it doesn't. Like that long section where he talks about, there's a long area where he talks about defining virtues and vice, and he uses a methodology by which 2 extremes are laid out, and then the mean is the virtue. I get the model, but I could not understand what he was saying. But I plowed on nonetheless. Pulled out a few nuggets here, right in there. But Aristotle's not easy to read, for me at least. I don't think it's a matter of this translation. I think it's just the way he thinks. He's like, some people can really grasp math, right? You can go in and sit in a math class and be rapt by the subject. Others are like completely baffled. That's how I am largely with Aristotle. But there's a couple sections, namely the one up front. Now I know why people keep referring to the front section. And then there's another one now. Started about page 180 to I'm at about 210 now. It's good stuff now. We'll see what's to come. So I'll spend some good time reading today. I wish you all the best. Be safe, but not too safe.